Today we're going to cover the things you need to know about the firmware 4.0 update for the Sigma FP. But first, if you're new to the channel, my name is Anson, and on this channel we talk about filmmaking. Specifically, we talk about gear, tutorials, and a look at the projects that I'm working on. And so if that's something you're into, consider subscribing. I don't know what my hands are doing right now, but we're moving on. So Sigma just dropped their firmware 4.0 update for the Sigma FP. Now this is the update that came for the FPL a couple months ago and is now coming to the FP. So this video is really just a quick rundown of the things to expect from this update, starting first with false color. Now this is something that everybody's been excited about for the FP, is having false color. I will say there are a couple things you'll need to keep in mind. One, false color does need to be assigned to a custom button, and it only really turns on when you have that button pressed down, which I'm not sure why it doesn't just turn on and stay on, but keep in mind it will only be on while you have that custom button pressed down. The next thing is going to be the option to turn on linear focusing for supported lenses. This is a really cool option to be able to do linear focusing with certain lenses. Now I'm not going to list off all the supported lenses. I would definitely check out the link in the description below to see if your lens is supported. Now the thing to keep in mind here too is that if your lens is supported, you will need to make sure that the lens has been updated for its latest firmware. This is something that if the option is grayed out for you, your lens is either A, not supported, or it has not been updated. So that's something you do want to keep in mind. If you do use the camera in both the stills mode and Cine mode, something that's really helpful is the ability to share exposure settings between the two modes. That does affect things like the shooting mode, the aperture, the ISO, the shutter speed, and exposure compensation. And so those are some things that will be affected with sharing the exposure settings between stills and Cine mode. Now, a couple of things that have been updated with the stills mode is that when you're doing long exposures or a self timer, the clock will actually appear on the screen. I've never really used this, so I can't really speak to it, but that's something that's been updated. Something else that came with this update on the stills side is the ability to display lens information on the display itself. So it can display the focal length as well as the focus measuring. Now you will need to go into your mode settings for the display, and you will have to assign it to a certain mode setting, but that is something that's available on the stills side of this camera. Now lastly, something that came for the Cine side is clip numbering. So this does give you the ability to change the camera, the roll, as well as whether you want to reset the clip numbers or have them be continuous. This could be really helpful if you're using multiple FPs on set. You could potentially have an A cam and a B cam, as well as if you change SD cards or what you're shooting on, you could potentially even change the roll for that as well. But that's something that came with this update, and it could be really helpful for filmmakers, especially filmmakers that work with multiple FPs on set. And really, that's it for this video. If you do have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I really didn't get a chance to test this out ahead of time. Sigma didn't give me a pre-release or anything like that. So if there are questions I can't answer, I do have the ability to talk to some of my Sigma reps to see if I can get the answer for you. So definitely let me know in the comments below if you do have any questions about the firmware 4.0 update. And so that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to give it a like. And if you're digging the overall content from the channel, consider subscribing. As always, thank you for joining. Go and find your journey. Go embrace life. Stay safe. Be happy. Support each other. Wash those hands, and I'll see you here next time. Peace.